New year, new games. Hello and welcome to the first 2014 edition of Almost Gaming. And welcome to our new YouTube digs. I know things look the same, but you are watching this on Almost Gaming Vlog, our brand new YouTube channel. You know, the calendar can change, but gaming never changes, man. So let's take a spin around the wheel of gaming news this week. We're going to start things off with a quick disclaimer. I usually scour the net for any relevant video game news, and I did this week as well. But this week I ended up picking a lot of stories from Kotaku. So instead of saying Gaming Blog Kotaku a bunch of times, I figured I'd just start off right away saying Kotaku is awesome, and if I don't mention this week where a story came from, it came from them. Kotaku is definitely a site that any gamer should have in their bookmarks. We've got good news and bad news for Sony, so let's get the bad news out of the way. You know how everybody who's trying to be a video game hipster says, no, seriously, Nintendo is gonna fail as a company soon. If they don't go third-party developer, I do not know how they are gonna survive. Well, they may have the idea right, but the company wrong. As reported by Game & Realm, MacroAxis is a financial tool engineering website, and to demonstrate how their financial tools work, they often plug various numbers into them and generate predictions. Well, Sony's hoping that they're not Nostradamus. MacroAxis is predicting that Sony has an almost 79% chance of going bankrupt within the next 2 years. Now, this is based on Sony's most recent financial filing, as well as a number of other factors. Sony has been closing HQ buildings and trying to downsize the company a little bit. They're still recovering from the losses that they took on the PlayStation 3, and they're taking similar losses on the PlayStation 4. Also, the PS Vita hasn't caught fire yet and is still being dominated by Nintendo's 3DS. Now, it's not likely that Sony will go bankrupt within 2 years. This really serves as more of a warning that Sony will go under if things don't change. Unfortunately, it also probably means that a price cut for the PS4 isn't in the near future. What's one way that Sony could make some quick bank and get their heads back above water? How about re-releasing some classic PS games? The gamers have already played those. How do you add something fresh that gets gamers to buy them again? How about adding some challenges and mini-games? It's been discovered that around the time Sony was purchasing Gaikai, a cloud-based video game streaming service, they filed a patent called Suspending State of Cloud-Based Legacy Applications. This system would allow developers to add mini-games to some of the classic PlayStation games. Things like beat this boss with half health, or finish this section of the level within this time limit. Now, we haven't seen any applications of this yet. This is just a patent, especially since we don't even have streaming games on the PS4 just yet. Now, iGame Responsibly, who discovered the patent, have coined this PlayStation Remix. I wonder where they got the idea for that name. From Nintendo. Nintendo recently surprised the gaming world by releasing a lovely little downloadable title called NES Remix, with no prior publicity whatsoever. They announced it in a Nintendo Direct and revealed that it would be immediately available. In NES Remix, you play mini-games and challenges from classic NES games such as Super Mario Bros., Donkey Kong, and Excitebike. Completing certain numbers of these challenges unlocks remix levels, classic game levels with certain aspects changed or remixed. You can also download full versions of these games for the Wii U Virtual Console. You can download NES Remix right now on your Wii U. But things haven't been all sunshine and lollipops for Nintendo either. A US judge recently ruled that Nintendo has been violating the copyright of Tomita, a camera company. Nintendo has been using Tomita camera tech in the 3DS without Tomita's permission. The judge didn't issue any immediate financial damages, but did rule that Nintendo must pay Tomita 1.82% of the wholesale revenue of every 3DS sold from now on. This is kind of a cloud on the silver lining that has been the 3DS, but it shouldn't impact the company that strongly. Speaking of downloading games, man, today's show has a nice flow going to it. That has been a hot topic for some time now. There were concern when the latest consoles were coming out that they were going to focus so strongly on downloadable games that brick-and-mortar retail video game stores were going the way of the dodo. The console companies backed down after some concern and backlash from their consumer base, but how close did we get to having a download-only gaming console? Real close. Real close. In an interview with OXM, Microsoft's Phil Spencer revealed that after E3, there were serious discussions about removing the Xbox One's optical drive entirely, going download only. Now, eventually cooler heads prevailed, but remember that the Xbox One only came out 5 months later. That is how close we came to a gaming company declaring the season of downloading on. Now, there may have been some sort of transitionary media, such as games on USB drives, for example, but I really do think this is a sign of things to come. I highly doubt that the next Xbox, the Xbox 2, will have any sort of disk drive. Moving over to PC gaming, Activision haven't always done great things with the Marvel gaming license. They were the ones that finally gave us a Deadpool game, but even that didn't really live up to expectations. But it seems, like Deadpool, Activision are now shooting us in the head when we fail to laugh at their jokes. Activision have very suddenly pulled almost all of their Marvel gaming titles off of Steam, Xbox Live, and PSN. You can still for some reason find 2012's The Amazing Spider-Man, so it's hard to tell whether this is a contract issue or if they're just trying to make games that some see as bad quietly disappear. Now, if you have already purchased these titles, you will still be able to pull fresh installs, and if you're still looking for these games, don't worry, there are plenty of disc copies floating around out there for you to find. This is kind of borrowing an idea from Dodger's gaming news blog, but it is sort of disturbing when we're being asked to accept digital distribution as our only gaming retail method that companies can just yank games away so easily. If a company stops production of a hard disk game, there are still copies out there to be found. If a company stops production on a digital-only game, it's gone tomorrow. This is one of the concerns that prevented the Xbox One from going diskless. For our featured story, Mark Serrels wrote a great piece on Kotaku that I want to talk about. I know I said I wouldn't mention Kotaku more than once, but I really have nothing to add to the piece, I just want to talk about it. So I figured that I would give him some credit. Winnie dang, the piece is about 5 video games that you can pre-order right now, despite them basically being vaporware at this point. So let's take a look. The first is Halo Xbox One working title. That's honestly what it's called on the EB Games website. It's a good rule of thumb not to plunk down money on a game with working title in its name. The second is just as bad, Uncharted. Uncharted 4? Uncharted Drake's Madness? Who knows? It's that Uncharted that you saw for 2 seconds in that trailer, so give us cash. Number 3 on the list is, believe it or not, a 360 game. It's called Devil's Third, and it has been in the works for years. Now, rumors are that it's about 80% complete. It's not even done, and an entire new console has come out since it's been in development. Pass. Number 4 on the list is really the most forgivable, Mirror's Edge 2. As it says in the Kotaku story, it does have some hype, it does have a following, but we really haven't seen much, and most importantly, haven't seen any gameplay. But the last game on our list is the king of that. You can actually pre-order the Wii U Legend of Zelda game. Not Hyrule Warriors, mind you. The direct, official Legend of Zelda game for Wii U. You know, the one that we've seen exactly 1 demo trailer for and nothing else. The one that we've been salivating over while Nintendo's dropped Wind Waker HD, A Link Between Worlds, and now Hyrule Warriors on us. Listen, we know that this game is going to happen, but why plunk down money on that now when we don't even have a title yet? These 5 games are the perfect example of why pre-ordering is a risky business and is generally just best avoided. Well, that is going to do it for the first Almost Gaming here on our new channel. Please like the video by clicking the like button right down below, and leave us a comment or a question while you're down there. But even more so, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends that like video games. We are starting a brand new channel here and we need to build a solid subscriber base. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for Almost Gaming and liking the one with the black and white logo. And you can also follow us on Twitter at AlmostGamingVLG. Leave out the O for oh, what a great Twitter feed. I hope your year in gaming has gotten off to a great start. Please stay tuned for extra lives, the bloopers, and until next time, game on! Kotaku. And I forgot the rest. Kotaku is awesome. Dang it! Why can't I remember what comes after this? And we're still recording. Kotaku is awesome. And it's a game site where you can read about stuff and forget the freak. No, seriously, Nintendo is like gonna fail as a video game company soon. If they don't go third-party developer, I do not know how they're gonna survive. As reported by Gaming Realm, what's one way that Sony could make some quick bank? God darn it, you piece of technology! I'm not gonna... I'm not touching it. Why are you recording? Piece of junk! But gamers have played those already. What can we do to make a blooper? What's one way that Sony could make a crash in the living room? How can we add something fresh? Not we, they. Because I'm not a member of Sony. I'm not with Sony. Otherwise, this podcast would probably be a lot more biased.
Don't even think about it.
What's one way that Sony could make some quick bang? What is this? What was that for? What am I doing? Hey! I am a dork. Gaikai, a cloud-based game streaming service. How about I knew that one wasn't gonna work. What's one way to quick no. They announced it at a Nintendo. A U.S. judge recently ruled that something probably went like this. Something! But why plunk down money on that now when we don't even have a title? I think I fart